Well, one thing I've been working on lately, I've been sort of involved in the not-for-profit world on two fronts. One is I've been working with um, Bono, old friend, and he has gotten me involved in terms of helping him uh, reorganize and move forward with this sort of little ecosystem he's developed, along with the Gates Foundation and George Soros and Warren Buffett and people like that, which is really about raising awareness, raising money, and allocating money in a smart way against the extreme poor. And in his case, it's in sub-Saharan Africa. So he's got data, which is a lobbying, an activist. It's basically a lobbying and policy shop. There's one which is a consumer activist organization, and there's this thing called RED, Product Red. You might have seen the windows in the Gap, which basically tries to tap into the consumer spending power that goes on, where a certain portion of profits get sent directly to the global fund and get allocated for, in this case, antiretroviral drugs for people with HIV and AIDS. So I've been helping them find people to run these companies and reorganize the way that they're currently set up so they can sort of take themselves to a different level of effectiveness. And I would just say, as a plug for them, they've accomplished so much. It's really quite an impressive story to date, and a lot of smart, dedicated people have been working on this problem now very actively since the last 6 or 7 years. I'm also I've returned recently a couple of times to Afghanistan, which is a place I lived in for many years in the 70s. And I've been involved there with both some specific reconstruction efforts and talking to various people there about what that country needs and how I might be able to help in terms of making the kind of connections as they almost start over again after 30 years of war. So those have been, two things that have been somewhat gratifying to me and quite different from what I did in my prior career. I feel good. I mean, look, I was on a very fast-paced job, not only MTV Networks, but then as, Chief Operating Officer, Chief Executive Officer of Viacom, running a public company. Very big responsibility, a lot of things about that life that are enjoyable, but at the same time, I do find that after 26 years, it's like, that was a long time to do anything, a quarter of a century. So, and I had a life before, I had a career in life before I even started in that business. So I've always been a fan. I've always said, you should do several different things in your life, have a bunch of different chapters or parts. And sometimes maybe you just need to be kicked into the next part, or just for sake of comfort or repetition, you end up doing the same thing maybe longer than you should. So I'm exhilarated now. It's been an adjustment period, but I feel every day when I get up, I'm going to do things that I'm really passionate about or care about. And there's a portfolio of things that isn't as someone saying, well, you have this job, so this is a bunch of problems you have to deal with. I'm not so much in that defensive mode at the moment, which is the case for most people who say if you're a CEO of a public company, a lot of it you're playing defense. You're dealing with problems or crises. At the moment, in the smaller life I have for myself, I've got a lot less of that, which is a good thing.